I think about my family. I think about my son when I'm doing it. It's kind of weird for me, really, because what I think about is I think about supporting my family. I think about pushing myself to give my son the best life possible, because I want him to be able to grow up and not have to worry about things, and to know that his dad was a world champion. You know, not only that, but to know that his dad sacrificed everything for him, you know. And really, that's who I do it for, my son. Of course, my wife too, you know, she's always been there for me. I want her to be happy as well. But really, it comes down to it for my son. I want to come back and I want to get back to my parents. You know, I think about what I want to do with my life. It's not about me, what I want to give myself, what I want to give them.
Time to saddle up, cinch that belt tight. Check my gloves, mounted up, headed for the showdown. Ain't no running now. When that bell rings, somebody's going down.
Cowboy Ryan Karl on The People Show.
Let's fly high on this beat. Let's rock this whole vibe.
Hey everybody, this is Ryan Cowboy Karl, and I'm going to be coming on the D-Hall Show on August 20th at 7 p.m. Central Time to talk about my career in boxing and what is next for me in boxing and out of boxing. Also, to talk about the late, great Hannah Hanarchy RAPP and her untimely death, and the effects of that, and what we are doing going forward in memory of her, and also in living our life for her, right? And so make sure you get your questions ready. It's going to be an exciting bit, and anything is welcome. Nothing is off limits. Just remember, this is a J. York production, and I'll see you on August 20th. Be good.
Woohoo! Time to get up!
Yeah. You know what it is, let's go.
What a great sleep.
Get it.
Time to get moving.
We here to show.
Ready for the day.
This podcast a winner, yes, we are the winners.
Welcome to the D-Hall People Show, where real voices, real stories, and real culture come together. From rising talent to headline makers, we bring you unfiltered conversations and the energy of the people, recognized, respected, and tapped in with the culture. Now, streaming live, this is the D-Hall People Show.
Let the world know it's true. Where we laugh until we're blue. High energy and true. One of the other people's view. Stepping right into view. We keep it fresh, sharp and refined. Never too askew.
Up it goes.
We bring the heat on cue. Yeah, it's
Perfect
a people
fit.
show vibe. Feel the spark ignite with the sound of your drive. Make your day feel bright, yeah. Make your day feel bright, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. This podcast a winner. Yes, we are the winners. Yeah. This podcast a winner. Yes, we are the winners. Drop your story, feel alive. We're a platform
A J. York production.
Every guest is a star, just flash.
What's happening, people? I guess I'm on time today. I made it. Good to see y'all, man. Y'all, y'all make it happen. The people. This is what we got here tonight. The People Show. Man, it's been a minute. I got my man, Ryan Karl. I know who he is. Yeah, he fought Barrios. Yeah, we're going to get into all that stuff, but we got a lot to talk about. And I see some people has joined us. Y'all share the video. Yeah, share the video, man. If you can't do nothing else, share the video. I tell you what, man, we can get out. We work together. That's why it's the People Show. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to my man, James RAPP. I was looking forward to seeing you, Mr. RAPP, and I knew you was going to come through, man. I appreciate the kind words you said today. I saw that, man. I really do. True Media Podcast. Man, y'all got to go check my man out. He's over there on YouTube. He's everywhere. I go check him out. Sometimes I don't say anything because I be so tired. I just let him talk. Let him do all the talking over there on True Media Podcast. Gotta keeps it real, man. I like his show, man. I'm always over there checking him out. Hey, Connie May. Care. What's happening? Let's get it, y'all. Hey, but before I do, this is y'all know my routine. This is where I got to do this in. You know what I'm saying? This is an online program. This is the work of talk and discussion. This is an online talk show that educate adult audiences. Parental advisory is advised. Some things may not be suitable for children. So we may get off into something else, say little bad words here and there, but we don't mean no harm. You know what I'm saying? But look, it is what it is. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. Yeah, it's Thursday night, man. This is how we do it. Thursdays and Sundays. Make sure you come back Sunday. I got India Rodriguez. Yeah. Flyweight, man. We're gonna talk with her. She's on fire. Yeah, she's really hot right now. Yep. But anyway, let's get started, man. I got my man here he's down in Texas. I forgot what part of Texas he's from, but we're gonna bring him in here right now. Come on in here, Ryan. I know you ready to go. Let's get him in here. There he is. What's happening?
Hey, I can't hear you, big dog. I can't hear you right now. Let's see if I can figure this out.
Okay.
I can't hear you. Let me see.
Okay. You say he can't.
Let me listen to you right now.
Okay, you're gonna listen. Okay.
Microphone's on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can.
I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you got me muted or something. You don't want me to hear everything you had to say. I'm not sure what's happening here.
No, I don't have you muted there. I don't have you muted at all.
Shows them on. I
Yeah,
can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, brother. What's going on?
You can't. Okay, tell you what. Go out and then come back in. Hold on. Let me send you a message so you can go out. So you can go back out and come back in. Yeah. Sometimes we have these things. Let me send him a message right quick.
Not coming up. Let me leave and come back in. Does that work? Want me to do that?
Yeah. Go.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, sometimes we had those hiccups, and I always try to make sure things are working properly, but I know sometimes it goes haywire, shall I say? Haywire. Yeah. RAPP said he can hear both of us. Mr. RAPP said he can hear both of us, but he said he couldn't hear me, so I don't know what was happening with that deal. He said he couldn't hear me. I could hear him well on my end. But anyway, we got a lot going on. He's back in. Let's see if we can get him started here again. Maybe this will
Hear you now.
You can hear me now.
I can hear you now.
Woo, boy. Hey, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Wow.
Hey, say that again, Karl.
I said, what's happening? So praise the Lord. That's what's happening.
That's what it is. Look here, man.
Oh man, and just like that, you went away. I can't hear you now. What happened? What cut out?
Wait a minute. It cut out. Hold on.
Something just happened. I can hear you good, and then something changed.
Yeah. Let me
What'd you do to
this
me,
here.
D Hall? What'd you do to me, brother?
Man,
Just trying to talk to you about this fun stuff, about fighting and boxing and different things like that. And I can't
try it
can't
again.
hear
Go back
you.
out. Go back
Can't
out
hear
one
you,
more
brother.
time.
Let's
Go
see if I
back
can
out.
fix something. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. James said he could hear both of us, so. But you can't hear me though.
It's no good. Let me do it again.
Okay.
What's going on with that? Why would it do that to me?
Now he's got no sound, right? Now he's got no sound on it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
I
can hear
edited
you.
my microphone, but I still can't hear you. I said,
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy on me. Here we go. Let me back out again.
Okay.
I can hear you good there for a whole minute.
Okay. There we go. We're gonna see. Maybe he's gonna have to go back out and come back in again. I don't know exactly what the issue is there, but let's see what's happening. Maybe he'll go back out and come back in. I'm gonna take him I'm gonna remove him right there. But anyway, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. I know we having a little difficulties. Sometimes we have a little difficulties there. And let's see. I got him on this way here. Here we go.
I can hear you
So
now.
yeah.
I can hear you good, brother.
Okay, man. All right. Let's roll with it.
Let's keep it up.
Yeah. No doubt. Let's get started, man. Before we get started, Ryan, you've been on the program once before, but hey, it's been a while. Probably like
Yes,
maybe
sir.
2020, 2023 or something like that. If you
A
don't
few
mind,
days. Yeah, a few days.
yeah, for sure. If you don't mind, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, man.
Ryan Cowboy Karl from the great state of Texas. Currently, I live right here in Gulls, Texas. I fought out of Houston, Texas, there for a good bit of my life. You know, out there with Ronnie Shields and stuff like that. Grew up right there. Mother and father always with me and training me. Beautiful wife and 5 kids. I've got 19-4 as a pro.
Yeah.
13 knockouts, I believe. Dangerous any day of the week, twice on Sunday. I had 128 amateur fights, 108 and 20, and just little things about me like that,
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's been a while, and we're gonna get right into it, Ryan. A lot of people is probably, I'm quite sure, is watching it on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all over and Kick and all over. So let's get right into it. First of all, I want to get into we want to talk about a little bit about Hannah Rapp before we get
Of
into
course.
other things. You was her manager
Yes,
for
sir.
and Hannah Rapp was she was taken away from us abruptly. When you can you tell me when you first met Hannah and and
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and, and what was it about her that you saw she could go to that top level?
Well, it's funny, right? So whenever Carl Perry, the coach over here at Bryan College Station Boxing, he called me and says, "Hey, Cowboy, you got to come check this girl out." I said, "Oh, I don't mess with girls, coach. I don't mess with girls." I said, "Cowboy, I'm telling you, you got to come check her." I said, "Carl, I'm telling you, I don't like girls fighting. I've never been a big fan." I said, "I've never really watched it because, whenever I was fighting, I never watched a lot of other fighters besides the ones in my weight division or maybe, in men's boxing, but I didn't go watch women boxing since I was in the
Yeah,
amateurs and they're fighting at nationals." And so he said, "Cowboy, you have to. Come on." I said, "Fine, man. I'll stop in the gym." I said, "I'll come hang out." And she was there, of course, and I watched her spar, and it got me excited. I said, "Man, this girl can fight." I said,
yeah,
"Well, it wasn't that
yeah,
she could just it was raw talent. She was strong. I saw her, she's sparring these boys and stuff like that. She's getting hit hard and she's fighting harder. And she
yeah,
always has this natural talent. I didn't know, she was a D1 athlete. She ran over there at Purdue and stuff like that. I didn't know those things about her just yet. I said, "Man, I like this girl. She's got the right type of mindset." I hollered something in there for her to do in the corner, just trying to see if she'd listen. And she listened and she did it. And she
yeah.
could do it. She was
Right.
just very natural. And so I had to rethink myself, my whole plan on not having any girls. I had to rethink it a little
Think of
bit.
it.
And I
Yeah,
didn't like that because I don't like being wrong. I don't know about you, brother, but I don't like being wrong. And so I told Carl, I said, "All right." I said, "All right." I said, "All right, something we can do, Carl. I said, let's go sit down for lunch," right? So Carl
yeah,
set it up. I think it
yeah,
was the next day. And I already decided in my mind that I wanted to sign her. I said, "All right, Carl, we'll do it." Here, I talked to Hannah, talked to her a little
yeah,
bit. I loved her personality. I loved her drive. She had this mindset that I hadn't seen in other women's sports, to be honest with you, the ones I've been around
right,
in. But boxing is different, of course. Boxing is so different. To
yeah,
to prevail in boxing, you have to have a certain type of mindset, this type of warrior mentality.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I went and I sat down and had lunch with her and her fiance Will and Carl.
mm,
I think I might have brought my dad with me and stuff like because my pops is always with me.
yeah,
And
yeah,
man, I loved her. I just instantly I said, "Man," I told Carl, "This girl's gonna be a world champion.
yeah,
She's gonna be a world. She's something, right? She's
yeah,
something." And
yeah,
so the first fight I got with her was we fought. Oh man, what's her name? I always forget her name. We fought for
yeah,
the NABF right here and out of Conroe over there. And
mhm,
man, it was excellent. My good buddy Felix over there put us on. Excellent guy, excellent group, excellent promotion, all of that stuff. Put us on and gave us our first opportunity. But I remember a lady telling me that I grew up with. I knew her as an amateur as a kid. Knew her husband real well. He was a pro boxer and stuff. Great trainers and great people, very kind. And I
Yes.
remember her telling me I was making a mistake. You got to move this girl slow. You're moving her too fast, Cowboy. It's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, my girl can fight. I said, I don't think you know. I said, this girl can fight. Sure enough, she went out there and she showed out and she looked great and she did
Yeah.
what we came to do and won a beautiful fight. And
Yeah.
she was just an excellent fighter, excellent mindset. You would ask her how she's feeling, she would tell you feeling dangerous every time,
Wow.
feeling dangerous.
Everything is.
She
Yeah, I
meant it.
like that. I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know, she was on my show back here in October 2025, and if just to look at her, you would never think that she was a fighting girl because she always had a smile on her face. You know, she was always
Yeah.
laughing. She just was jolly. You know what I'm saying? She was just
Oh
a
yeah,
jolly person. You know,
that's what I
all
mean.
yeah. I mean, she just had that spirit about her. How jolly she was, and you look at her, you be like, this girl fights. Where's
Yeah,
she at?
right.
You know what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying. When I first heard it, I was like, I don't know about this. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
But
And
but yeah,
go ahead.
but yeah, and then on top of that, she was smart.
Oh,
She was a
intelligent.
fire and life safety inspector in Texas. There, from my understanding,
Yeah.
and yeah, and while she was while she was preparing for the WBC world title, what what did it tell you about her work ethic and character as a person?
Well, while preparing for it, it takes something out of you. You gotta, like I said, you have to have a different mindset to prepare for those kind of things. To prepare for war,
Yeah,
prepare for
yeah,
battle. You're gonna be on televised. You know that people are gonna be seeing you all over the world. No matter what happens in this fight, is gonna be seen forever, right? Good or bad. And
yeah,
it takes a lot of really a ton of mental strength to do something
yeah,
like that and to prepare your
yeah,
body. And for her, she was so into training and so into being prepared. I always compared her to a Bernard Hopkins. Whenever
yeah,
I would talk to people about her weight, I said she's on weight all the time. I said she
yeah,
eats right all the
yeah,
time. She trains right all
yeah,
the time. I said this is normal
yeah,
for her, right? She's made for this. She's the
yeah.
type of person that is made for something like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was a tough cookie, I can tell you. In your thoughts, Ryan, what is the side of her personality that the public never seen? What was that to you?
Well, the boxing world never got to see kind of this quirkiness. She was so funny in her own way. She was so herself all the time. She
Yeah,
might
yeah,
wear anything, anywhere, don't care, and it's her own style and her own personality. And she thugged it, right? It's just what she
yeah,
did,
yeah,
right? No matter what it
yeah,
was. And if you didn't like it, you could fight her, but you couldn't beat her. Like any girl's got a problem with it, but you do nothing about it. And
yeah,
she had
yeah,
just she was so kind and so funny. She was so sweet, such a sweet
yeah,
person, such a kind person. But yet at the same time, she could get that inner meanness she needed to in the ring, and she loved it. You could see. I remember looking in.
yeah,
You could see it in her eyes when she's fighting, like in between rounds. Like she's excited. She loves it. She
yeah,
loves the conflict. She loves the competition. She
yeah,
loves having to do these things, right? And it was just
yeah,
something
yeah,
special about her.
yeah, yeah. Back on June the 13th,
Yes.
Hannah she fought Tia Brown
Yeah.
for the WBC world title.
Yeah.
One a great, outstanding fight. Looking back at that, uh, how proud of her were you uh, as an elite athlete at that point? How proud of you?
Well, it's
Of
funny,
her?
right? So it's funny because I remember getting in the ring immediately after the end of the fight, trying to get through the ropes first, trying to be in the ring first. I remember I had my towel and she's bleeding. She's got this cut and she's just too tough for her own good halfway, right? And I remember I put it on her face. I remember saying, "I love you. I'm so proud of you. You're such a warrior, right? Something special. She always is on weight. She's always in shape. She always comes to fight, and she's always going
Yeah,
to do it. There's never going to be a difference there. And her professionalism, was more proud of her then at that moment, right? Maybe than I had ever been. But and that was seeing her in defeat,
right,
and seeing her
right.
after a loss. I was more proud then than I had ever been of her in my life.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Getting into more of the details side of it, they they did catch the person that did this incident, right?
Yeah, they did catch him, and he is. They did catch him. He is uh, in the county jail right now, Brazos County, waiting to what's next
Okay.
for that on the trial, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of cutting up a little bit, but I can understand it, but it's just breaking up just a tad bit there. Being the manager, you was her manager. What was your strategy for building Hannah as a fighter? What was your strategy that you used?
Well, as a manager, right? So as a manager, I'm looking at things differently, right? So I'm looking at things from the different side of it, not as a fighter, as I would look at it for myself. As a fighter, she was the type of person that I could send her any name at any time. She would say, "Let's do it." She wouldn't even care. She wouldn't even look at it. Let's do it. I'm game. And my idea, my strategy with her was I want to get her in front of the right people with the right fights, and she's right there ready for this opportunity. And I remember telling Carl we were kind of frustrated because we had multiple fights fall through. We got called for some fights, one for a fight on MVP with someone else, and it fell through. They backed out. And I mean, like 3 or 4 of them like that, and good fights,
Yeah.
for their opportunity, and they fell through. And I remember telling them, hey, and they were kind of losing heart, kind of in a way, kind of taken away from them a little bit because they're training so hard for this all the time. They're suffering, right? We're right there. It's any moment. We're knocking on the door. We're about to get it. And sure enough, right at that time, I got the call. I've never,
Yeah.
and I've never seen her so excited in my life for one. And without hesitation, without hesitation, she wanted everything. She's one of those people that you hear people all the time that they want all the smoke. She's one of them that actually did. She wanted all of it. She wanted the fire. She wanted everything. Bring it on.
Yeah, we're kind of losing you there just a tad bit. They're kind of breaking up just a tad bit, but I'm quite sure you can hear me. You've been a manager, and I know it wasn't a perfect time for everything. You didn't agree on everything, but how do you handle the situation where if you had a disagreement with her or any fighter, and how do you handle that as being a manager? What do you do to fix that or make it right? How do you, because you're going to have disagreements somewhere down the line.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you pretty easy. I'm very straightforward. And I say exactly what I mean. And I make that very clear from the very beginning. I said, I'll always, you're always going to know where I stand, and you just always tell me the truth and you always speak to me like that. We'll always be fine. We'll never have any troubles, right? And so we never had any issues with that because we were very.
Yep, got a call coming in, man. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling? Oh, I know who that was. I'm just sorry about that. Sorry about that. That was a bad call there. I know who that was. But anyway, what and what was some of the key duties that you had as a manager? What was your key duties from point A to point B? What was your key duties?
My key duties as a manager was to fight for my fighter on the other side of things, right? She's to do the work in the gym. She's to prepare herself like she should. And my job is to, behind closed doors on the phone, is to work for her all the time and how I represent myself and how I represent her and to move forward with that, right? So the key duties I had, I had the job of reaching out, finding these people, and also being contacted by them and knowing who to listen to, who to talk to, and who not to also, and who not to pursue, and when to wait and when to go, right? And so the conversation, that was my job, right? That was my job.
Yeah. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on? This is Jay York.
Hey, what's happening, Jay? How you doing, man?
What's going on? What's going on?
Everything is good.
I've got a question for Ryan.
Okay.
Okay, Ryan, how you doing?
think he's. Can you hear him, Ryan?
I can hear you, but I can't hear him.
Okay. Okay. I think there's some bad connection going on somewhere. But shoot the
Okay,
question, Jay. I'll ask the question. Yeah.
my question is, what was the toughest moments that he possibly had to pull Hannah through
Mhm.
in a fight where she may have been down and losing the fight? Uh, has he ever had to step in and give encouraging words and to like nudge her on to help give her encouragement to finish the fight, win, lose, or draw?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, so I give you good fight for that. Is we're fighting Melissa Parker. We're fighting over here, and Hannah had been sick that week, and sicker than I thought she was. Right. So in the fight, anyways, she's fighting. I remember giving encouragement in the end. Not that she needed it, right? She always had that thing about her where she was willing to go to whatever it needed to go to, right? Whatever level she had to go to, she was willing to go there, right? And stay there. She had that she was just different in that way from a lot of other fighters that I've been around. Is that she was always ready to give it her all. But I remember in that fight, she was sick, she's tired, and I know this about her. I know that she's got some health issues there that have kind of pulled from her in that way. And I'm just reminding her, hey, this is this is it. This is what it's like. We're in here, come hell or high water, tired or not. It's what it is. And she doesn't bat an eye. Of course, she always agreed with it anyways. Or maybe in the Brown fight, and she's a tough fight. She's in there. She's cut. She's bleeding. Uh, She's in a very competitive, tough fight, very physical fight. TR Brown is a very physical, tough opponent in great shape. And Hannah, just the same thing, just encouraging her in that way. Not that I don't think that she needed me to encourage her in that way, but that I'm going to encourage her anyways, right? I'm going to cheer her on in that way and motivate her in that way. And, try to, as you would in situations, try to get the dog out of them. Try to get everything they got, everything they have in the tank. I don't want them to have anything in a fight like that whenever they get out. But she gets up that fight, and she did. And she did. She gave every ounce of effort she had to give. And that's beautiful. It's kind of like a Chico Corrales fighting. You didn't have to give him that in those type of fights. He was going to go for it no matter what. He had all the time. But there's trainers in the corner that show that motivation. Hey, this is it. All guts, baby. All right here. You got to go for it.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last question, Ryan. Can you share with us a moment you had where you dropped your hands and your head in your hands, and you almost given up? You was right there at your last, and you had to. No one was there around to encourage you, and you had to encourage yourself. What did you say to yourself to encourage yourself to go on?
Well, the beautiful thing is I always have Christ with me, right? And a lot of my encouragement comes through Christ and from Christ. And I remember the one time that I had my hand in my head in my hands, looking at defeat. Was one night praying at a time in what I would consider rock bottom in my life that I had, and where I was really struggling and praying and asking Christ for strength in those times. And I was renewed and I was strengthened right through Christ and in Him. In a fight, in the middle of a round, right? In the middle of a round, whenever you're fighting and it's you're in the big show, you're right there, you're in it. There's no cornerman, there's nobody you can, hey, I want to call the timeout, go sit down. You're just all in. And I remember whenever I was cut real bad by Barrios all the way across my whole forehead. I remember that when I was cut here, I couldn't see anything out of my right eye at all. It was nothing but literal. The color red is all I could see out of my right eye. Just with the blood in my eye, it was just covered with blood. And I remember thinking to myself, "Hey, baby, this is it." And I remember throwing some of the biggest right hands I could throw. What else am I gonna do? Die? At least I'm gonna
Wow.
die trying, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna die by quitting. And this is it. I mean, that's part of life. It's part of that mentality for the fighters. And in those moments, I don't have those struggles in those moments. But the time that I did have that struggle, of course, I had Christ with me. Thankfully, right? That I have Christ with me all the time. The power of the Holy Spirit working through me in those times, and that I can rely upon when I'm at my lowest.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Right, great.
That's yeah. Well, you know.
Okay, well
uh,
yeah, that's all the questions I have for you, Ryan. Keep God first, and thank you for answering my questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes. All right. There you go. There's Jay York there. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause.
Appreciate it, Jay. Appreciate it, Jay.
Yeah. We're going to. It's still a little crackling there. I don't know why it's a little crackling. Like it's some bad noise or breaking up. Can if y'all let me know how he sounds on your end? Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear on my end whenever I hear you talking, but I don't hear it
Okay.
right now. Only whenever I hear you, I can hear the crackling on my side.
Oh, okay. Okay. So here we go. We got a question right here. What is a trait what is a trait Hannah had that you feel like other fighters could bring to the ring to succeed?
A
What
trait
is
that
a
Hannah
trait?
had that other fighters could bring to the ring to succeed.
Yeah.
Well, we talk a lot about fear in boxing, right? You talk a lot about fear, and a lot of people don't get in the ring because of fear, because of
Yeah.
those kind of things like that. Hannah brought something to the table whenever she got to the ring that she didn't have that, and the reason for that was because of the work ethic and what she had put into it. That she knew who she was, she knew what she could do, and she didn't have to worry about being tired. She didn't have to worry about anything because she was prepared. Because every day she gets closer to that fight, she put more work in, she put harder work in, she did everything. She didn't skip training. She didn't, that's what made her mentally so strong. Was that she never cut any corners, and that she
Um,
always took the hardest route. She never wanted an easy day, wanted to do something small. She always did the hardest thing, and that's why when she gets in the ring, it was easy.
yeah. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali said, "Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion."
Yeah.
That happens in the gym. Those times happen in the gym. That doesn't happen in the ring. You don't have that in the ring. You have that whenever you are in the depth of training by yourself. Whenever it's late at night and you want to go eat that food, or you want to go do this thing that you don't do it right. That you
Right.
stay strong and you stay focused and you follow through on that. Right. So that would be the also the greatest trait probably that she had outside of that was the ability to learn, and always willing to learn, and always willing to listen, and always willing to adapt. She wasn't full of herself. She didn't have this great pride to where she thought that she knew everything, and she was always very flexible. She was very soft in the way that you could teach her and train her, and
Yeah.
that she would listen. You could tell her something, and she would do it. It wasn't. I didn't
Yeah.
have to. And even her coach Karl would tell you that he didn't have to fight with her to get her to do something. He never
Right.
had to ask her twice or to beg her to do anything, or even in the corner with instructions. Just tell her and she'll do it.
To do it. Yeah.
That was an excellent trait she had.
Yeah. Patsy says we can barely hear him. Can you hear him? Because I'm thinking, she's over on YouTube, and Rap is Mr. James Rap is over. Can y'all hear him? I just want to make
Hear me
sure.
good?
Yeah. Okay, we just want to make sure that, but we're gonna sidetrack you just a little bit. I want to get on you a little bit about yourself as a boxer. You retired. You had a great career. Okay, he said yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. Mr. Rap says yes.
All right.
Why did you decide to retire? Because it seems like to me you retired a little early.
Yeah, I retired at probably an odd time. Most people would say I felt so called by God into ministry, that He was calling for my life. And so when I retired to go into ministry, which I did, which I am
Okay.
in ministry. And that is why I retired. And, I've been back in the gym now. I've been back and I feel good as ever. Matter of fact, I feel better than I did when I retired. Um,
Right.
my injuries that I've had before in my life seem to be gone from me now, for the most part. And I feel excellent. I feel great. I feel young. I feel like a lean, mean fighting machine. I'm slim and trim like a bicycle ram. I got it all. You know what I mean? I'm just ready. Just all you gotta do is say win. And
Yeah. Yeah.
all those things. That's what I retired for and to go into. And that was probably I was sharing today. I was talking to Ronnie Shields on the phone earlier, as I do sometimes. I got a great relationship with Ronnie. Last
Yeah.
time I said, I think that's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I've never experienced a harder thing, and I felt that I had asked God, and I had asked God for these things, and I had asked God for these answers, and I had sought Him, and yet He gave me them, and I refused to turn. I refused to go and do these things that I felt I was being called to, and so. I'm
Yeah.
very hard on myself in the way I talk, and so I hold myself accountable a great deal. And so whether I liked it or not, I did what I had to and what I
Yeah.
should do in that
Yeah.
time. And so
Yeah. Okay. Okay. For everybody, you can call in. There's a number right there running across the board, 919-410-8736. We are talking to Ryan Cowboy Karl. And we was just talking about Hannah, but we're getting into a little bit into his background and his little bit of career. And Maggie says the connection, I think, is just a little wonky. Just a little wonky. I like that. Just a little wonky. But anyway, let's get back to you. Your last fight was in 2022. Did you know at that point, that was going to be it? Did you know
no
right then?
idea. No idea. That was, so COVID happened in 2020 and it messed everything up, right? So I had
Yeah.
one fight in the year 2020, I had one fight in the year 21, and one in 22, right? I stayed in the gym about probably a total of 330 days out of the entire year, even though I only fought one time each of those years. I stayed in the gym, I stayed training, I stayed dedicated
Mhm.
to that. It was just, I had no idea that that would be my last fight. Um, and didn't plan on that being my last fight. I was right there where I wanted to be. So it wasn't a plan I had.
Okay. Okay. Um, um, 2020. We're gonna touch on this a little bit. You fought
Yeah.
Mario Barrios for the WBA super lightweight title.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
feel? Do you feel as a fighter there was something you could have done better that night of the fight?
Of course. Of course I do. I felt that I could have held on. I could have been smarter when I was cut. When I was cut bad, I could have held on a little bit. I could have worked around a few things instead of letting my love to fight kind of cloud my vision. Although my vision was already clouded with the blood, but it clouded in the way that I. It's kind of a thing I have. Probably the worst trait about me as a fighter, and also one of the best, is that when it comes down to it, I'm ready. Say win. Let's go. Let's fight right here. I got too much fight in me. Matter of fact, Kenny Weldon used to tell me all the time, if the Cowboy, don't listen to the crowd, they'll get you killed. Don't do that. Remember what we're here for. And
Yeah.
although I knew these things, I knew I should have held on. I knew I should have tried to get back to my corner. I knew I should have tried to get this cut stopped to where I could see. At the same time, what overtook me was more of this willingness and wanting to fight. And
Right.
I think that hindsight is 2020. I think that in all reality, I think that I win that fight every time, like I should, if I would have been, mentally like I should have been
Prepared.
in
Yeah.
thinking that way and not thinking in as much of a warrior mentality. Um, Trying to do things a little different. It was a little bit of a big show. It was a little bit different. We're all wearing masks. This is my first fight like that with COVID. I'd been laid off for about a year because of waiting on COVID to let me fight. I think that it had a lot to play with it. I think it had a lot to do with it, and I think that I could have been could have done things better.
Yeah. Here we go. We've got Miss. She's over on YouTube. She says, "Cowboy, with you getting back into the ring, what can Hannah's legacy be known for moving forward in the ring, and how can you and other boxers keep her spirit in how they perform?" Let's take the first question first. What can Hannah's legacy be known for moving forward in the ring?
What can Hannah's legacy be known for moving forward? True grit, hard work, dedication. As Floyd would say, hard work, dedication, all the time. It can mean moving forward. I've got a picture of Hannah. I look over here just to my right a little bit at her. She's got the biggest smile you ever seen. She loved it, right? And that's the legacy we leave is that she loved boxing. She loved this competition. She loved these people. She loved this crowd. She loved the atmosphere. She loved to perform. And moving forward, we can remember Hannah in that way, right? As a super athlete, a supreme athlete, as I would say, they came ready, willing, and prepared to put on a great show for everybody. And you would not leave disappointed.
Yeah. Okay. And the second question was, how can you and other boxers keep her spirit in how they perform?
So we can have the same attitude she had as a fighter. I can have the same attitude she had. I can have that smile. I don't have to be mean. I don't have to do that all the time. Although it's kind of natural for me sometimes. We can have that kind of personality she had. She was very loving, very giving. She was so funny. I think at the weigh-in, she handed Tiara a card, right, for her to sign, and it was a Tiara boxing card, Tiara Brown boxing card.
Yeah.
And she was funny. She didn't care. Yeah, we're gonna fight. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't matter. We can be friends, but come fight now. You know what's gonna happen. We don't have to have this whole show, this charade of, I'll walk around with my team and I hate your team or anything like that. You can have that personality about you and into the ring. You carry that into the ring, that kindness, that gentleness, that lovingness. Also with the work ethic, with the determination, with the true grit that she had in the ring, in the fight.
Right. Okay. We're going to pivot a little bit here because this is something that I want to get into, and I want to ask you, and maybe you can give me some insight on this. We hear about friends in boxing. There is no friends. But what do you think about friends not fighting friends? What do you think about that? We're pivoting a little bit now. We're going over here a little bit.
Friends not fighting friends. Well, I get it and I don't. Boxing is a business. Boxing is a sport. I have a lot of friends, even in boxing. I don't think I have any friends so good that I wouldn't fight them. I said my friend outside of boxing, I might fight him at church on Sunday just to do it. No, I'm just kidding. But I understand friends not fighting friends in boxing. I understand setting these boundaries that you have to an extent. It's not for me. But everybody's different.
Right. Okay. Say when 1836 says, "Love to see Cowboy back in the ring." Love you, Bubba. That person says there. Matter of fact, let's get into some fights for the next 10 minutes here. I want to throw some fights out there and get your opinion on it. But before I do that, women boxing is growing, and what's the steps necessary to keep it that way?
Women's boxing growing. I think that what's necessary is to continue promoting it, continue to put on great shows. I think that's the biggest thing they can do is to continue to put on these type of shows that are excellent shows that are, these great opportunities. But if the fights aren't great, people aren't going to tune in. You know what I mean? And so if you're not matching great fights, I think the worst thing that can happen for women's boxing is to get lazy on the matching, right? To get lazy on the fight, on that side of things. And I think that's going to be the biggest deal.
Yeah. Want to get into this with you. The Keyshawn Davis versus versus Devin Haney. He turned it down. He turned down the $3 million. Why do you think he didn't take that?
No idea. You know,
No idea.
I think I'd fight Godzilla right now for that money. But not even for the money, it's for the opportunity. You know, when I grew up, we always heard you never turn down a world title fight. You never turn down that big opportunity. I've always heard that, and no matter what, come hell or high water, we're going to be ready and we're going to be thankful for it. And we're not turning nothing down, you know, and in general. So I don't necessarily understand that unless there's another plan, you know. Of course, for the
Right.
fighter, as a fighter, I don't understand it. As a
Right.
manager, I do. I understand it as a manager on the manager side of things because what makes money makes sense. That makes a lot of money, but there might be something out there that's happening that makes more money, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's
Okay.
and you know you got to look at that on the manager side of things. What is the best avenue for your fighter?
Yeah. Yeah. Jay says, could you show us some of the pictures you have there on the wall?
Yeah, yeah. First, you see me right there. Oh, white lightning right there.
Okay.
You got I got over here. I got it's a picture of
And
Hannah and Carl and me in that picture right there. You've got Hannah right here,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right there. You got some of these. You know, you got fighters like Carl Perry over here on the wall, right
Okay.
there. You
Yeah.
got this. You got that. You got Ray over there. You got Chase. You got let's see. Yeah, Chase Martinez, pro
Okay.
fighter right there.
Yeah.
Great fighter. You got Christian right there again. You've got
Okay.
Hannah right there.
Okay.
You got
Yeah.
all kinds of things, man. You got all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff on these walls. You got Coach Joe, who was an Olympic coach.
Okay.
Right here out
Okay.
of Bryan College Station. Him and Oscar De La Hoya right there together.
Okay. Yeah. I see that.
There's old Coach Joe again, the great Coach
Okay.
Joe. And you know, you got look at that. There he is right there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's him as a younger man. You know,
Right.
you got Carl Perry right there, Coach Joe, still
Okay.
training as long as he could, you know. And
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Jay says, is there any stories behind those pictures? Any type of stories?
oh, there's lots of stories. I tell you, there's lots of stories. I can tell you. Looking back there at this picture of me, this is me fighting at the top right there, fighting Quezada, and
Okay.
not Quezada. I'm sorry, that's Alfonso Olvera fighting him in San Antonio at the
Right.
Cowboys dance hall. You know, the dance hall. You know, I'm such a big deal down there in San Antonio. They named the whole dance hall after me. They call it Cowboy, and you know, fight down there. And I remember the fight. It was a good fight. You can see his mouthpiece flying out right there.
Yeah. Yep.
I got a thumb in the eye right there in the first round, and my eyes swelled almost completely. And just remembering the fundamentals and those
Mhm.
situations and things happening like that. That was a great fight. I had a lot of fun and you know a lot of memories from that. And you know you see these pictures we have on the wall. Coach Joe, I look at that picture of him and Oscar, and
Right.
I believe he was on the Olympic team in the '92 team.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. He was. Yeah. He
and
was.
so uh, and so I see those guys like that, and I see that, and I can't imagine the stories that Joe could tell you, right?
Right. 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 Right.
I look at
Uh. Wow. I'm glad Jay brought that up to look at the pictures and stuff on the wall. But he asked, and Keyshawn asked for 5 mil.
yeah,
Was that too much to ask?
I think so. I think it is. I think that it was you know, of course I'm talking out of turn because I don't know the whole situation, and
Right.
I
Right.
don't
Right.
contract in front of me, so anything I say is just my opinion, right? And I don't know
Sure.
that I'm in the same situation. But yeah, that's more, in my opinion, than he was
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I don't mean
Okay.
way to say that he didn't have worth, but looking at what he brings to the table and look at what Devin Haney brings to the table,
Yeah.
I think that was a good number for him. I think
Right.
that was
Yeah.
very, and matter of fact, I don't think it was a good number. I think it was an excellent number for
Excellent
him,
number. Yeah.
great
Yeah.
number for him. And I don't understand it, but you know maybe there's something bigger in the works that I don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's true. Would you have took the 3 million?
Yeah, I don't need time to think about it, brother. I don't need nothing.
So you
Trust
you didn't have to think about that. You said, yeah.
me, and I'm coming. You gonna get
Yeah.
all of
But it's like if he would have beat Devin Haney, just throwing it out there, he could have tripled that. the next go round.
I tell them all the time. I said, we're here. This is prize fighting. We're fighting for a prize. We want to. We're going to get paid for the risk that we're taking. The money will come with a world title. You want a world title. That's what I want. That's what you want. That's what I tell you. That's what you want. You want a world title. The money will come with it, right? And you have the mentality that's what you're here for, right?
Yeah.
I'm here to win.
Yeah.
If I had the mentality that I'm only here for money, when the fight gets hard and everything gets tough, I'm gonna say, man, I don't know if that's enough money to feel like this. I don't know if that's enough money to be this tired or this hurt. I'm here for everything.
Right.
No two ways about it.
Yeah. Well, good point made. Damn good point. I was sitting here thinking while you was talking, and I know some people can understand what I'm saying. Maybe not, but James Toney fought Michael Nunn. I don't even think he made $100,000.
No. It's the opportunity.
Yeah, it was an opportunity, and guess what? He won. Won.
Thankful. That's right. Thankful for it. You be thankful for those opportunities. They don't come to everybody.
That's right. Jay says, where was the most memorable place you fought?
Oh man,
somewhere you'll never forget.
That's funny, right? So my pro debut, I fought. It's not the biggest fight I had. It's not the biggest crowd I've been in. It's not the, it's not the flashiest. Wasn't the everything to it. Didn't have all these different things. My favorite place I ever fought was my pro debut. I fought at Fort Bliss, El Paso, on the base, with Army base right there with all of these troops, right?
Yeah.
All the soldiers out there, and I'm gonna tell you what, they know how to cheer. They know how to cheer for the anyways, and I backstage, and I'm back there warming up, and I got Marcus Watson's back there with me. I signed with Al Heyman out of the amateurs, and so I got Marcus Watson back there with me. And I didn't know Marcus before this. I didn't know the whole Watsons and everybody in the whole scene. I wasn't real familiar with this kind of stuff, and this is back before PBC, right? This is 6 months before PBC launched, and so I'm backstage warming up with them, and I remember I walk out, and it's like, and I walk out to Toby Keith. What was the song? We'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American. Perfect, just perfect.
Right.
I'm telling you, man, the courtesy of the red, white, and blue. That's the name of the song, and I'm talking about goes crazy. And I love the crowd, brother. I tell you, I love the crowd. I know Kenny would tell me not to listen to him, but I couldn't help it. I love to hear it. I love to hear them. And I remember coming alive, just that coming alive and that feeling, and loving it. And it's game time, baby. This is showtime. This is work. This is work, I've been all the hours at the house. This is work right now. And most memorable, I remember first, I think I got a second round stoppage. I had my referee, the great late Steve Smoker, right? Excellent referee. And I thought I was gonna have to kill him to get him to stop it. And but it was great, and I had to walk around taking pictures with all the troops. And I think I spent and Rocky Juarez was the main event, and he won the WBC silver that night. And I think I walked around almost his entire fight of the main event, a 12-round fight, taking pictures in the crowd. And you would hear, if you fight, you would hear all of a sudden the crowd would be erupting over here or erupting over there, and you think, man, nothing happened. What's going on? It was just me. It was just me in the crowd. It just,
Yeah. I want to play this short clip. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is something you may have seen it. I'm quite sure you have, but I just want to show you her response to the question that I asked her, Hannah, that I asked Hannah RAPP about you.
Yeah, play.
I got to go right here with this one. My man, Ryan Karl. How did you meet him?
So one of the first days that I showed up to train at Brian Boxing, actually the very first day that I showed up, we sparred, and I did really well against the sparring partners that I had, and my coach, I think, was a little surprised. And he was like, hey, I got to get, because Cowboy Karl, Ryan Karl, he's the manager for my teammate Chase. And so, Coach Karl was like, Ryan, you got to check this girl out. And so he shows up to sparring one day, and I think he was equally impressed. And that's just kind of how we met.
Okay, that's my guy, man. I like old Ryan. He's
cool.
Yeah, he's cool dude, man. Yeah. Yeah. Ryan, you still there? Oh, okay.
There we
What I
are.
do? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just wanted to just show you the remembrance of what she said about you and how
Yeah.
y'all met there. Yeah, great thing there.
And
We're
it was,
winding it down. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off. We're winding it down. One more. The Ryan Garcia, the Conor Ben fight. What's your thoughts on that one in September?
Ryan Garcia wins the fight. Conor Ben's a very good fighter. There's a lot of power. Speed's gonna kill him. The speed of Ryan's gonna kill him. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna too much speed, just too much speed. That's all there is. Connor's a good fighter, but he's not. He's it's just a bad fight for him as far as styles make fights.
That's what, yeah. I think so.
I lost you, man. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you now.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
All right. Wow.
Can't hear you, brother.
Okay. All right.
Well,
look,
I sure do appreciate you letting me come on here, and I love it. God bless you, D Hall, and God bless you, Jay York, and thank you for everybody and that came in and tuned in to support. You can always follow me on Cowboy Karl 1 on Instagram or Twitter, or Ryan Cowboy Karl on Facebook, and I come ready to fight all the time, whether I'm the coach, whether I'm the trainer, whether I'm the manager, or whether I'm the fighter. I'll be here ready to rock and roll, come hell or high water, give it all I got every day.
All right. Thank you, Karl.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. There we go, man. That was right there. That got good at the end. It started working right, and then it went out again. But nevertheless, everything is good. I appreciate Ryan for coming on. Maybe we can get him back on before the end of the year is out and speak with him. But we had a great time. The devil was working tonight. Just didn't want to get through and talk about Hannah and all that stuff. But nevertheless, we did what we had to do. We'll come back. We'll be back on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with India Rodriguez, flyweight. She's like number 50 in the world. She's been on a couple of times on the program. So we're going to have her on Sunday. Hope you come back and join us, man. We appreciate everybody over on Instagram. Now, if you're over on Instagram and I couldn't see your comments and all that, so I apologize for that, but I got to figure that thing out, how to get that to work like it should. But I know you're over there and I know you're watching. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for coming on. As well on the YouTube. Appreciate everybody that stopped in, stopping into the show. And sometimes, you have to excuse the difficulties that we have sometimes. Sometimes we have the difficulties. Sometimes it's smooth. But, we're online and we're working to do the best we can to make things the best way that it can be. So, look, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for stopping in. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'll see you Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3 p.m. Central, and all the Mountain Time and all that stuff, West Coast Time and all that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm out of here. We'll catch you later. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. For me and Jay, we appreciate it.
That's our time on the show. To be a guest on The People's Show, please email dmost42@gmail.com. You will need 8 to 10 pictures, an introduction video, and at least 2 to 4 videos of your project. Send them to messenger@jyork or email them to jyorkproductionsync@gmail.com. Thank you for watching, and join us next time on The People's Show. The People's Show is a J. York production structure. J. York Productions Group serves as the editor and post-production specialist for the D. Hall People's Show. All interview footage is recorded independently by guests and submitted via file transfer. My role focuses on editing, sequencing, and final presentation. Video and audio quality may vary depending on the original footage provided. J. York Productions Group is responsible for editing and post-production for the D. Hall People's Show. I do not film guest interviews. All footage is submitted by guests, and final quality reflects the original recordings provided.